The calm before the storm, Admiral. Sarah Chen stood in the command center of the UES Phoenix, her weathered hands clasped behind her back as she studied the tactical display. The holographic projection showed the outer edge of the Sol system, where, in less than 20 minutes, the most decisive battle in human history would begin. Her reflection in the reinforced viewport revealed a woman in her 50s, grey streaking through her black hair, with eyes that had seen too many wars, but never. And with stakes this high, the bridge hummed with quiet efficiency. Officers moved between stations with practiced precision, their voices low but urgent as they conducted final system checks. The weight of humanity's survival rested on every decision made in the next few minutes, and everyone aboard felt it. Captain Marcus Webb approached from the tactical station, his young face tense with concentration. He had served under Chen for 3 years, rising through the ranks faster than anyone in recent memory. His tactical mind was sharp, but today would test everything he had learned. Admiral, final intelligence reports are coming in from our reconnaissance. Drones, Webb said, handing her a data pad. The Zephyrian fleet is massive, 237 capital ships, over 800 fighters, and their flagship is twice the size of anything we've ever seen. Chen nodded grimly as she reviewed the data. The Zephyrian Empire had swept across the galaxy like a plague, conquering 47 star systems in just 2 years. Their technology was advanced, their numbers overwhelming, and their reputation for destroying entire civilizations was well documented. They had never faced serious resistance until now. Any word from the other human colonies? Chen asked. Mars' defense fleet is in position at the secondary perimeter, Webb replied. The Jupiter mining stations have been evacuated, and our long-range communications are ready to broadcast the battle to all human settlements. Dr. Elena Vasquez entered the bridge from the research section, her usually neat appearance disheveled from 6 months of non-stop work. As chief science officer, she had led the team that developed humanity's secret weapon. Her dark eyes held both exhaustion and fierce determination. Admiral, the quantum ecosystem is ready, she announced. All 17 ships in our fleet have been fitted with the quantum resonance projectors. The targeting computers are synchronized, and we've run the final calibrations 3 times. Chen turned to face the scientist, who might have just saved humanity. Dr. Vasquez, I need you to explain this one more time. In simple terms, how does this weapon work? Elena took a deep breath. The quantum echo creates entanglement disruption on a massive scale. Every piece of technology relies on quantum interactions at the subatomic level. Our weapon sends out a synchronized pulse that breaks those quantum bonds, essentially causing all advanced technology within range to stop functioning. It's like turning off the universe's power switch, but only for artificial systems. And you're certain it will. Work on Zephyrian technology? Webb asked. We've tested it on captured Zephyrian equipment, Elena replied. Their technology actually makes them more vulnerable because it's so advanced. The more complex the quantum interactions, the more catastrophic the disruption. Commander Jake Harrison's voice crackled over the communication system from Fighter Bay Alpha. Admiral, all fighter squadrons are ready for launch, though if Dr. Vasquez is right, we might not need to fire a single shot. Chen activated her communicator. Stay ready, Commander. We can't afford to assume anything will go according to plan. Lieutenant Amy Foster looked up from the communication station, her young face pale but determined. Admiral, we're receiving a transmission from the Zephyrian fleet. They're demanding to speak with our leadership. Put it through, Chen ordered. The main display shifted to show the bridge of the Zephyrian flagship. General Corax dominated the screen, his 7-foot frame covered in ceremonial armor that gleamed with unknown metals. His elongated skull bore the ritual scars of a Zephyrian warlord, and his 4 arms moved with predatory grace. Behind him, Dozens of alien officers worked at stations that pulsed with bioluminescent displays. "I am General Korax of the Zephyrian Empire," he announced, his voice translated by the universal communicator into accented English. "I address the military. Leaders of the species known as humans, your resistance to our expansion ends today. Surrender now, and some of your people will be permitted to live as servants to the Empire." Chen stepped forward, her voice steady and calm. "I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the United Earth Space Command. We reject your terms, General. This is your only chance to withdraw from our system peacefully." A sound that might have been laughter came from the alien general. "Your bravery is admirable but foolish, Admiral Chen. We have conquered 47 civilizations, each more advanced than yours. Your primitive technology cannot stand against the might of the Empire." "We'll see about that," Chen replied. Then signaled Foster to cut the transmission. Webb moved closer to the Admiral. "He seems awfully confident for someone about to face an unknown weapon." "Overconfidence has ended more wars than any weapon," Chen observed. "Dr. Vasquez, how long until—" "The quantum echo is ready to fire? 15 minutes for full charge across all ships," Elena replied. "But Admiral, there's something you should know. This weapon is completely untested in actual combat conditions. The theory is sound, but we're betting the survival of our entire species on a theory," Chen finished. "I understand, Doctor. Sometimes that's all we have." Engineer Thomas Burke's voice came through the intercom from the weapons bay. "Admiral, all quantum resonance projectors are online. Power levels are climbing steadily. We'll be ready when you give the word." Chen walked to the viewport and gazed out at the stars. Somewhere beyond the edge of the system, the largest alien fleet in recorded history was approaching Earth. In just minutes, they would discover whether human ingenuity could overcome overwhelming odds. "Foster, open a channel to all ships in our fleet," Chen ordered. "Channel open, Admiral," Chen's voice carried to every human vessel in the defense fleet. "This is Admiral Chen. In a few minutes, we will face an enemy that believes we are primitive and weak. They have conquered dozens of worlds because no one could match their technology or their numbers, but they've never faced humanity before." She paused, looking around the bridge at her crew. Each face showed determination mixed with fear, but no one wavered in their duty. "6 months ago, we captured a Zephyrian scout ship," Chen continued. "Instead of simply studying their weapons, our scientists found something better. They found a weakness. Today, we don't fight with bigger guns or stronger shields. We fight with human creativity, human persistence, and human refusal to surrender." Webb watched the tactical display as 17 green dots representing human ships held formation against the approaching red mass of the enemy fleet. "The odds are against us," Chen went on. "They always have been. From the moment we first looked up at the stars, everything seemed impossible. But we kept trying, kept learning, kept pushing forward. That's what makes us human. That's what they don't understand." Foster reported quietly. "Admiral, Zephyrian fleet will be in weapons range in 8 minutes. Chen nodded and continued her address to the fleet. "Whatever happens in the next few minutes, remember that we stand here not just for Earth, but for every world that has fallen to the Empire. We stand for every species that couldn't fight back. Today, we show the galaxy that humanity will not go quietly into the dark." Dr. Vasquez checked her instruments once more. Quantum echo charging at 90% across all ships. All targeting systems are locked onto the enemy formation. The bridge fell silent, except for the steady hum of the ship's systems. Outside the viewport, space appeared empty and peaceful, giving no hint of the massive battle about to unfold. Chen felt the weight of command settle on her shoulders like a familiar coat. She had led fleets in border skirmishes and piracy suppression, but nothing had prepared her for this moment. "Admiral," Webb said softly, "the crew is ready. Whatever happens, we're proud to serve under your command." Chen smiled grimly. "Let's Hope we're all still here to tell our grandchildren about this day. The countdown had begun. In less than 5 minutes, the Zephyrian Empire would learn that humanity was far from primitive, and the galaxy would witness the shortest decisive battle in interstellar history. Victory in seconds. The Zephyrian fleet emerged from hyperspace like a swarm of metallic locusts, their ships blotting out the stars. Admiral Sarah Chen watched the tactical display as 237 capital ships arranged themselves. In perfect battle formation, their weapons already charging with ominous energy signatures. "Enemy fleet has dropped out of hyperspace," Lieutenant Foster reported, her voice steady despite the magnitude of what they faced. "They're taking attack positions at maximum weapons range." General Corax's flagship, a massive dreadnought that dwarfed even the largest human vessel, moved to the center of the formation. Its hull was covered in energy projectors that pulsed with malevolent light, each one capable of destroying a human ship with a single blast. Captain Webb studied the enemy formation with professional interest. "They're not even bothering with defensive positioning. It's like they're expecting us to simply sit here and be destroyed." "That's exactly what they expect," Dr. Vasquez said from her position at the science station. "Every species they've conquered use conventional tactics, energy weapons, missile systems, shield technology. They've never encountered anything like the quantum echo." Chen activated the fleet communications. "All ships maintain defensive formation. Do not power weapons or raise shields until I give the order. We need them to commit to their attack before we reveal our hand." On the main screen, the Zephyrian fleet began its advance. The sight was terrifying in its majesty. Hundreds of alien warships moved in perfect synchronization, their formation designed to concentrate maximum firepower on the small human defensive line. "Admiral," Foster said, checking her instruments, "we're receiving another transmission from General Corax." "Put him through." The alien general appeared on screen, his forearms spread wide in what might have been a gesture of triumph. Behind him, his bridge crew worked frantically at their stations, preparing for what they assumed would be a quick and easy victory. "Admiral Chen," Corax said, his translated voice carrying notes of condescension, "this is your final opportunity to surrender. My fleet will reach optimal firing range in 60 seconds. After that, I cannot guarantee the survival of any human vessel." Chen stepped forward, her expression calm and composed. "General, you've conquered 47 star systems. Tell me, did any of them surprise you?" The alien commander's head tilted slightly, confusion evident even across species barriers. "Surprise? What relevance does this have?" "Just curious," Chen replied with a slight smile. "You see, in human military history, our greatest victories have always come from doing the unexpected. Today will be no different." Corax's expression darkened. "Your species' primitive tactics will not save you, Admiral. In 30 seconds you will witness the full power of the Zephyrian Empire." "I'm looking forward to it," Chen said, then signaled Foster to cut the transmission. Dr. Vasquez looked up from her console, excitement barely contained in her voice. "Admiral, all ships report quantum ecosystems at full charge. We're ready to fire on your command." The tactical display showed the Zephyrian fleet had closed to optimal range. Energy readings spiked across their formation as hundreds of weapons prepared to fire simultaneously. The human fleet, 17 ships against more than 200, held their position with what must have appeared to be either incredible courage or terminal stupidity. "Energy spike detected across the enemy fleet," Webb reported. "They're charging weapons for coordinated bombardment." Chen took a deep breath. Everything humanity had worked for, everything they had built, came down to the next few seconds. If Dr. Vasquez was wrong, if the quantum echo failed, Earth would fall within the hour. "Foster, open a channel to all human ships," Chen ordered. "Channel open, Admiral." "All ships, this is Admiral Chen. Execute quantum echo on my mark. Target the entire enemy formation. Fire on my command." She paused, watching as the Zephyrian weapons reached full charge. For Earth, for humanity, for everyone who said it couldn't be done. Mark. 17 human ships fired simultaneously, but not with energy beams or missiles. The quantum echo was invisible to the naked eye, a pulse of quantum disruption that traveled at the speed of light. It washed over the Zephyrian fleet like a tide, touching every ship, every weapon, every system. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. The alien fleet continued its advance, weapons still glowing with deadly energy. Then, in the span of 3 seconds, every light on every Zephyrian ship went dark. "Direct hit on all enemy vessels," Webb reported, his voice filled with amazement. "Admiral, their entire fleet has gone dark. No energy signatures, no communications, no movement. They're completely dead in space." On the main screen, the once mighty Zephyrian armada drifted helplessly through space. Ships that moments before had been preparing to destroy Earth now floated like debris, their crews trapped inside vessels that had become technological graveyards. Dr. Vasquez was frantically checking her readings, her face a mixture of triumph and disbelief. It worked perfectly. The quantum disruption cascade spread through their entire fleet. Every piece of advanced technology has been rendered completely inert. Foster's console lit up with incoming signals. "Admiral, we're receiving hundreds of distress calls from the Zephyrian fleet. They're requesting immediate assistance." Chen nodded grimly. "Open a channel to their flagship." The screen flickered and showed the bridge of General Corax's dreadnought. Emergency lighting cast everything in a red glow, and alien crew members were working frantically with what appeared to be primitive manual controls. Corax himself stood in the center of his bridge, his 4 arms hanging at his sides in defeat. "General Corax," Chen said, her voice carrying across the void between fleets. "I believe you wanted to discuss surrender terms." The alien general's voice came through with significant static, their communication systems barely functional. "What have you done to us? What weapon is this?" "It's called human ingenuity," Chen replied. "Your ship's life support should continue to function, but everything else is offline. Your weapons, your engines, your shields, even your navigation systems. You're completely helpless." Corax's shoulders sagged. "Impossible. No such weapon exists. Our scientists assured us that no primitive species could develop technology beyond our understanding." Dr. Vasquez stepped into view of the communication screen. "General, your mistake was assuming that advanced technology is always better. We studied your captured scout ship for 6 months. Your quantum processing systems are incredibly sophisticated, which made them vulnerable to cascade disruption. Sometimes the simpler approach is more effective." Webb was monitoring the tactical situation. "Admiral, the entire Zephyrian fleet is drifting. No power, no propulsion. They're sitting ducks." Chen considered their options. The human fleet could easily destroy every enemy ship, but that wasn't the victory she wanted. "General Corax, here are our terms. You will order all Zephyrian forces to withdraw from human space immediately. You will release all prisoners taken from conquered worlds, and you will broadcast throughout the Empire that humanity is not to be considered an easy target." The alien commander was silent for long moments. Around him, his crew worked desperately to restore even basic functionality to their systems. "And if we refuse?" Corax finally asked. "Then you'll drift here until your life support fails," Chen replied calmly. "We have no desire to commit genocide, General, but we won't allow the Empire to threaten Earth or any other peaceful world." Foster reported new activity on her console. "Admiral, we're detecting incoming transmissions from multiple star systems. Word of the battle is spreading fast." Chen smiled slightly. "Put the general communications on speaker, Lieutenant." The bridge filled with voices from across the galaxy. Representatives from dozens of species that had been conquered or threatened. by the Zephyrian Empire were expressing amazement and gratitude. Some were former Zephyrian prisoners, others were resistance fighters who had never dared hope for liberation. "Admiral," came one transmission from the Altarian coalition. "This is Ambassador Veltar. We have monitored your engagement. Is it true that the Zephyrian fleet has been completely disabled?" "Confirmed, Ambassador," Chen replied. "The threat to your worlds has ended." More voices joined the communication network. The Helix Confederation, the Free Traders Alliance, even species that humans had never encountered before were celebrating the news. For the first time in years, hope was spreading across the galaxy faster than fear. General Corax watched this celebration of his defeat with something approaching respect. "Admiral Chen, your species has achieved something remarkable today. The Empire will remember this." "I hope so, General," Chen replied. "I hope they remember that underestimating others leads to defeat. I hope they remember that every species has the right to exist free from tyranny. And I hope they remember that sometimes the smallest force can topple the greatest empire." Engineer Burke's voice came through the intercom. "Admiral, our ships are reporting full functionality across all systems. The quantum echo had no effect on our technology." Dr. Vasquez nodded with satisfaction. "We designed the disruption field to ignore human quantum signatures. Our ships were never in danger." Webb was studying long-range sensors. "Admiral, I'm detecting movement from several star systems. It looks like formerly conquered worlds are rising up against their Zephyrian occupiers." The galaxy was changing, and humanity had struck the match that lit the fire of rebellion. Chen felt the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders once again, but this time it felt different. This time it felt like hope. "Foster, record a message for transmission to all human colonies on Earth," Chen ordered. "Today, humanity took its place among the stars, not through conquest or domination, but through ingenuity and determination. We face the future not as conquerors, but as protectors of freedom throughout the galaxy." As the message was transmitted, across human space, Admiral Sarah Chen looked out at the drifting Zephyrian fleet and smiled. The war was over, and it had lasted exactly 47 seconds. But the peace that would follow would last for generations, built on the foundation that no species, no matter how advanced or numerous, could defeat the human spirit. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again.